Warriors Steve Kerr drops Jonathan Kuminga, staying ready wrinkle before Game 2. After playing 0 minutes in the Golden State Warriors' 95-85 win over the Houston Rockets in Game 1, it's pretty clear that Jonathan Kuminga is out of Steve Kerr's playoff rotation until further notice. With rumors about the Brooklyn Nets eyeing Kuminga in his restricted free agency and the Dub Nation split in half about Kerr's decision, it's been another tumultuous chapter in the ongoing Kuminga Warriors saga. But despite the confusion, Kuminga's moral and attitude haven't dipped according to Kerr. In an interview with 95.7 The Game, Kerr praised Kuminga for how he's handled being cut from the rotation. Jonathan Kuminga has been fantastic. His attitude, his energy on the bench, cheering guys on, staying ready. He's a great young guy, Kerr said. This has been tough on him, but he's doing exactly what he should be doing, which is staying ready. Kuminga's professionalism is an encouraging sign for the Warriors. It's early in the series, there is still a roadmap for Kuminga to see the floor. He provides the Warriors with two potential needs, size and slashing. The Rockets bogged down the Warriors with their physical and athletic advantage. They bruised the Dubs for 22 offensive rebounds and walled off the paint for anyone not named Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. In a vacuum, Kuminga's elite athleticism could help the Warriors solve both of those problems. He can match anyone on the Rockets athletically while also giving the Warriors a deadly cutter who can finish in traffic. And defensively, he can give the Dubs another point-of-attack defender to irritate the Rockets' perimeter players. That's the high upside of Kuminga. There's still a reason why he fell out of the rotation to begin with. His fit next to Butler and Draymond Green was a negative, and his rebounding has been inconsistent. Regardless, Kuminga is the Warriors' ace in their back pocket, and Kerr is expecting to play that card at some point, as he stated in the same interview. I've told him, and our coaches have told him, things can change in a heartbeat in the NBA, Kerr said. He's got to just be ready for when his time comes, and that's exactly what he's doing. I would be surprised if, at some point, his time doesn't come. When you're in a good groove, you just keep doing what you're doing and then you adjust as you go. East laughingstock only have themselves to blame for failed Warriors trade. Prior to their eventual blockbuster trade for Jimmy Butler, Nikola Vucevic was arguably the most prominent name linked to the Golden State Warriors in the weeks leading up to the February midseason deadline. It appeared as if the Warriors needed to fortify their center position, and Vucevic was perhaps the best and most realistic option within the trade landscape. The 34-year-old started the year on fire for the Chicago Bulls, shooting in excess of 40% from three-point range while consistently posting double-doubles. Even after Golden State traded for Butler the day before the deadline, there were still reports of ongoing talks between both teams surrounding a Vucevic trade. Ultimately nothing came to fruition, leaving the Montenegrin in Chicago despite so much speculation during the weeks prior. Rather than trade for a starting caliber center in Vucevic, the Warriors have since gone small with Draymond Green at the 5 to largely great effect. They ranked first in defense following the deadline, with that and the extraordinary impact of Butler helping them surge up into playoffs and to a Game 1 road victory over the Houston Rockets on Sunday. As for the Bulls, they showed some promise over the second half of the season but were eliminated in the 9-10 play-in game by the Miami Heat. It leaves some fascinating questions for the franchise in the offseason, with Vucevic once again set to become available according to Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times. The Bulls once again will look to move Vucevic, making room for Zach Collins as the temporary starter or drafting a young rim protector, Cowley wrote. Vucevic does have an expiring deal, but, in all likelihood, he could be moved more easily at the February trade deadline. While the Bulls may be able to move Vucevic at some point over the offseason or prior to the February deadline, it's hard to see them getting much of value, particularly after a play-in game where his defensive limitations were brutally exposed again. Surely Chicago would have been better taking whatever was on offer from Golden State, likely including veterans Gary Payton and Kevin Looney. That would have given the Bulls 2 expiring contracts to open up further cap flexibility this summer, but alas they missed that opportunity and now still have to figure out what to do with Vucevic. It's the sort of overly patient, non-ruthless decision that's had the Bulls stuck in no man's land for years, and has seen them as a laughingstock of the East who's neither contending as a legitimate playoff threat, nor establishing a full rebuild to eventually reach that point. Either way, it's a good result for the Warriors, who have built their turnaround on defense, while the emergence of rookie center Quinton Post has lessened the need for Vucevic regardless. LeBron James perfectly explained why Draymond Green is so valuable to Warriors. The NBA playoffs are finally here, with fans no doubt hoping for a slew of thrilling, edge-of-your-seat matchups involving big-name teams like the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers star LeBron James, who has long wowed fans with his epic postseason duels against Steph Curry and the Warriors, could very well face his familiar foe later on in the playoffs. If and when that time comes, tensions will surely rise. But for now, there's nothing but love between James and the Dubs, with the 40-year-old recently giving a huge compliment to one particular Warriors player who has been integral to the franchise's sustained success. "I think who's mastered versatility over the last 10 years is Golden State. And the main reason is because of Draymond Green," James said on the Mind the Game podcast, around the 35:50 mark in the video below. James went on to give a specific anecdote of when he knew Green would be a problem on the Warriors. During the 2015 NBA Finals, James's Cleveland Cavaliers were up 2-1 in the series against Golden State until the Warriors made a lineup change, moving Green into the center position instead of their usual bigs, Andrew Bogut and David Lee. The Warriors would win the next 3 games to clinch their first NBA championship of the Curry-Thompson-Green era, the first chapter of their years-long dynasty. Fast forward a decade later, and the Warriors once again look like a dangerous team in the postseason with the likes of Curry and Green, alongside savvy midseason trade pickup Jimmy Butler, hoping to win another one for old time's sake. The Warriors currently lead the Houston Rockets 1-0 in their first-round playoff series. And still to this day, the versatility that Draymond allows Steve Kerr and that franchise to have, it makes them who they are, continued James. And obviously we know Steph does, Steph gon' do what Steph does. And I think that's what the game of basketball is, to be able to have that versatility, to be able to have 6, 7 guys that can play big or be able to switch out on guards. But James can't complain too much about his current situation in LA playing with 5-time All-Star Luka Doncic. The Lakers will look to even their series against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 2 on Tuesday night.